FredoBatch is an automation framework to execute a set of tasks over a set of files. The combinations of files and tasks is called a job. And let's first see FredoBatch in action. Here we have a job. The task is to purge unused elements on the models, and the files is a set of 11 files taken randomly on my computer. So if I launch the job, I'm asked for which kind of element I want to purge. Let's say I take out components, so I purge material, tags and style. And let's go. So the processing is going on. As you can see, FredoBatch opens the files, performs the purge unused, and when it is done, it gives a summary of what has been executed. So for example, here I have my 11 files. If I click here, I see that, for example, these files, I've purged 10 materials, 4 styles, and 0 tags. Okay, so that's the principle of launching a job. You select one task or several tasks, you select files, you execute, you get a summary. Now you can perfectly roll back the job. If I do that, okay, here I see that the rollback has been performed. Input files don't have to be Sketchup models. Here is a job where we take in input a set of DWG files from AutoCAD and convert them to a Sketchup model. So you see the task is here, and there are 5 files here with extension DWG, which are in this directory. So let's run the job. So there's no parameter. So here you see that I've converted each of the DWG files to a SketchUp model with the same name, just the extension has changed. And if I look now at my directory, you see that for each WG file there is a SketchUp file associated. Okay, so that's a very simple job showing that you can actually process any files with FredoBatch. FredoBatch does not require that the output of the job is a list of SketchUp models. So let's consider this task called Nice Gallery, where the task model gallery will take a list of SketchUp files, SketchUp models, and generate a PDF, a single PDF, where each page of the PDF is a view of each model. So let's run the job. So you are asked for a layout template. This is mainly for the presentation. So here is a layout template, so very, very simple. You are asked for a camera, which can be ISO, front, and so on. And you are asked for a PDF, the name, the path to the PDF file where you can add or not a date suffix. So let's run the job. So each model is opened, and then the PDF is generated. So you see here the PDF where you have the models. Okay, so this is called model gallery, and what I've shown is really a rudimentary version of it. In FredoBatch, you manage the set of files by the file manager, file set manager. So here it is. So here is a list of file set and file list. So there is a difference between file sets and file lists. File list is a file list is a list of files that you select. Okay, so it will always contain this list of files. A file set is an open definition based on directory, filters, and patterns and extensions. So let's see first a file list. So file list is with a bracket, regular bracket. So for example, this is a file list. If I want to add a file, I take a file and it is added. I can remove a file or add another file. So it's very simple. These files are what you selected. Let's see now a file set. So let's take a new file set. So I have to give it a name, my file set, and a description if I want. Now, the first thing you have to do is to add a directory. So let's say I take this directory and I select even all the subdirectories. So you see that I have over 7,000 files. So maybe it's not a good idea. Now you can filter by extension. So you can say Sketchup files. If you don't find the extension here, you can type it with, for example, just separating by comma, docx. You can select by extension. So you see that the list of files is updated. Now you have also a way to filter with on the name of the file. So for example, you have a filter to say what you want to include and what you want to exclude. So for example, I want to include the file with an R in the name. So I type star R star and I created a filter, and I want to exclude the file with an I in the name. Okay, so you see that the list is updated, and at the end I have defined in a parametrical way, I have defined a set of files. So if I add a file and it respects this criteria, it will be in or out. Okay, so that's a dynamic way to set a file. Okay, for those who are more advanced, you can also enter regular expressions. For example, you want to have files with a number in it. So \d means a digit. Okay, so you create a filter and you say that you see that only files with a number have been selected. So it's quite powerful if you want to play with it. And you can there are many other options that I did not show. So you save the file set, and now you have it here. Okay, and this file set can now be used in a job. The first icon of the toolbar is a job manager. So you define job by associating a set of files with a set of tasks. Here you have already jobs which are already created. Let's create a new job. So you have to add a task, or several tasks. So for example, I'll take this task, which has been created, and I will show you a little bit after. And I'll take, so convert file to old version. Actually, I will first select purged and use on model, and then convert. So you see that now I have two tasks that will purge and use stuff on models and convert files to old SU versions. And now I define a set of lists. So let's say that I take this set of files and this set of files. Okay, so I can save the job. So let's say purge and convert, purge, convert. Okay, so I don't need really a description, and I can save the job right now, and I can even launch it. If I don't launch it, it's there now, and I can launch it later on. You can of course go back to the job and change things as you like. Now you can launch it directly from here, from this icon, and let's do that. So you have two tasks. So the first task, purge and use, asks you what you want to purge. So, and the second say which version, older version of SketchUp you want to generate. Okay, so this older version will be put in this directory, and if I don't like it, it can be put in a local subfolder. That is, for each file, it will go in a local subfolder, and with the name SU and the version. Okay, so doesn't mind. Let's say I choose these parameters. So the job is progressing. And now you can review the result. First, you have a reminder of the parameters you use for the two tasks. Okay, and then for each file, you see that there's been a backup of the file in case you want to roll back. The file has been opened. It has been purged for the unused material, styles, and tags. And we have created a version in SketchUp version 8 and version 13, okay, by appending a suffix to the name. Okay, so that's really how you create and manage a job. The third icon is task manager. So you have three sorts of tasks in FredoBatch. Built-in task, they don't show here because you cannot change it. They have been developed by me. and they are part of FredoBatch. You have custom task, which is task that you design, and you have a parameters task or param task, which are derived either from built-in or custom task by fixing parameters. So you are not prompted for anything because you predefined the parameters. To define a custom task, it requires to know a little bit of Ruby, because apart from giving the name, description, and category of a task, you have two information to provide. One is a top method, so it's a Ruby method, which is the entry to your task. And optionally, in case the method does not exist in your environment, coming from a plugin or from SketchUp itself, you need to specify a file where this method is and which will be loaded by FredoBatch. So writing a task, as I said, requires to develop some Ruby. So it's not let's say given to everybody. Either you rely on somebody knowing Ruby or you learn Ruby. But for example, if I take this simple task which I showed, which is to convert DXF and DWG to SketchUp, this is the code. Okay, so you encapsulate in something called my module, but this is the code. So it's not a lot of lines of code. Okay, and it's relatively simple, and FredoBatch automates the rest. That is, you write this code for one file that is in entry, and just giving the processing, and FredoBatch takes care of the rest. So it's not, as I said, you have to be aware. You can specify some extension for the task. That is, for example, this task will only work on SKP files, and for SU 2017 or above version of SketchUp. And you have also two important parameters: whether you need to open the SketchUp file, if the input is a SketchUp file, to open it in SketchUp before running the task, and if you want also to backup files for possible restore. Okay, so for example, you don't need this parameter if you process a DXF file and convert it to SketchUp, because the DXF file is not modified really, so you don't need to really a backup. Okay, so that's how you create a task. Now, a param task is derived either from a built-in task. So the built-in tasks are with a red Ruby, the custom task with blue Sapphire, and for example, if you want to create a param task for model gallery, you see that here. So let's call it param. Okay. I have to specify my parameter. So let's take a layout template. Okay, so I take this one, and I take a name for the PDF file. Okay, so I select the file. So I say my PDF. Okay, I use the date suffix. So I create the parameter task, which is with a green emerald. Okay, so now it's there. If I create a job, let's take a new job, and let's take quickly, okay, 4 files. If I take this param, my model gallery param, the task I just created. Now, if I launch a job, okay, I can save the job, param, let's say. Okay, then I'm not asked for anything, so it goes directly to the execution. So this is what a param task is. That is, it's a task where all parameters have been predefined, and I get my gallery here. So this is a review of task. You have a full documentation with example to see how to write tasks because because there are many options on what you can do. This concludes this first video of overview of FredoBatch. Thank you very much.